Nothing in life is free. My parents used to tell me that as a child. Furthermore, I still needed to learn what they signified at the moment. In other words, I didn't have to pay for any food I consumed, the stylish new clothes I received for school, or the goodies Santa brought me on Christmas. As kids grew older, it became painfully evident that those incredible benefits did not cost me personally. They costed someone else. The saddest aspect is that relatively few individuals comprehend the depth of cost I incur daily, making it appear like even breathing costs money to an adult. As a result, I will reveal to you in this video the hidden costs that the 99% of people overlook. Even though my family wasn't impoverished and we didn't have 3 Lamborghinis parked in the driveway, hearing my parents whine about money was a recurring motive in my youth. All of this is to say that for us to survive, my parents still had to lead a financially responsible lifestyle. I'm the first to confess that my parents did a great job protecting me from the complex financial realities of becoming an adult. Moreover, I was such a grub that I never really understood why most people found money to be a source of dispute. But everything changed as I grew a little older and started earning money on my own. I vividly recall receiving my first paycheck. It was strangely enough the most thrilling and depressing experience of my life. I experienced that as another first in my life. My first paycheck was a physical check, actually, and as I opened it, I could see my name along with the hundreds of dollars handed to me. Most young adults would have been so ecstatic to get that type of money, so I must have already had my account brain activated. But all I could focus on was how little I had gotten in exchange for tens of hours of my time. When I used that money and discovered that all work could be offset by 1 or 2 regular expenses, my disillusionment only increased. At that point, it became clear why my parents were constantly whining about things like taxes and petrol prices. Money always leaves the country faster than it enters. Little did I realize that my comprehension of this idea didn't even consider all the expenses that most people overlook. When asked what their average costs are, most people will list things like their mortgage and groceries in the required bottom line. They must have reason to rejoice after finishing another week's labor. But when it comes to the prices that most people face, many of which will never be aware of them, this is just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, you can be facing these hidden expenditures without ever recognizing them. Let me share 3 hidden charges with you so you can make the best financial decisions possible. Number 1. The cost of spending. It's only normal to consider paying your bill at the bar or finishing your online buy on Amazon when considering the cost of your expenditures. These are some of the most frequent ways we spend money. Therefore, they are likely to come to mind first when we think about our spending. However, 2 more costs are associated with expenditures that are just as significant but frequently ignored. The first is opportunity cost, which is in addition to the money that leaves our pockets when we interact in this way. Opportunity cost is the loss of a possible gain from another. Alternatives once one option is selected. If this is the first time you've heard of this concept, let me illustrate the opportunity cost of spending. Let's assume your mother gives you $100 for your birthday. After giving it some serious thought, you decide to spend it on a new Xbox game. The fun you'll gain from playing the game is the advantage, but that choice comes at a price. In this scenario, the expense is advantageous. If you'd chosen to purchase the game rather than use that money to buy a stylish pair of school shoes, you would have given up or used the fund to attend a performance. Because none of us have unlimited resources, we're continuously forced to select between alternative options, foregoing the advantages of one choice in favor of those we would gain from a different one. Although some people are aware of the opportunity cost they are paying when they regularly spend money, almost everyone is unaware of the second cost of spending, cost emotionally. Have you ever experienced a challenging day at work and wanted to go to your home and engage in retail therapy to unwind? Getting a new golf club or pocketbook will help you overcome your bad attitude and get you back into a better mind. As a result, believing this trick, you buy and get the enormous dopamine rushes you had anticipated that will make you happy. However, as soon as the novelty of that item wears off, you return to feeling terrible, and to make matters worse, your wallet is lighter than it was before, so you're actually in a worse position than you were before. Most individuals overlook how their spending affects their emotions, and they tell in this scenario, all major instances where you may have behaved in a similar way come to mind. You need to acknowledge some of these costs, and when you master them, I'm sure you're going to be more financially responsible. Number 2. The cost of earning. No matter what anyone says, earning more money is the most effective way to start moving in the right direction. Now, I'm aware that some people would disagree with me and contend that you'll never be able to get ahead without saving or investing. However, you can only support or save money if you have a job. Not to mention that while earning money is really satisfying, watching your bank balance decrease each time you receive payment could be more gratifying. No, it is a fact that you're bringing value to others and they appreciate it enough to compensate you financially for your efforts. I do, however, fully support people going out and increasing their income. Earning does have a unique set of expenses we truly discussed today. You see, to make money, you must trade either money or time. Let's start this premise with how much it costs to make money because most people climb the corporate ladder through their 9-to-5 work. Opportunity costs, a concept you're familiar with, are unavoidably incurred when you exchange time for money. It's a sad fact of modern life that most spend 8 to 12 or perhaps more hours at work each day. However, we eventually achieve compensation for the significant investment. This time spent working takes away from the various ways we may otherwise be spending designated time. For instance, every hour you work longer, you could equate an hour less spent watching Netflix or time with your family. Remember that these alternative pastimes may not necessarily result in additional sources of income, but we can all agree that many of life's most pleasurable activities don't necessarily result in more bottomless wallets, and you miss out on these priceless opportunities every time you trade more time for money. For those who prefer more passive methods such as manager-run businesses, you may only have to sacrifice a little bit of time to increase your income, but we will use instead more money. Opportunity costs are associated with the second resource. You can invest your money in hiring personnel, purchasing goods, paying overhead, but you may have spent it somewhere else, some stuff you could enjoy. You will inevitably pay the price that may or may not be worthwhile depending on your financial priorities. Finally, number 3, the cost of investing. Isn't it amusing how everyone you speak to will advise you to invest your money? Some people will advise you on what investments to make, whether real estate, particular stock, trendy new crypto, double your net worth by next week. If you ever disclose the expenses associated with this financial endeavor, most individuals are ready to offer their investment advice to you. So allow me to share the 3 with you that you need to be aware of. The initial cost is the risk you take while using your money to purchase a particular asset. No risk, no profit, as you are aware. Additionally, there's danger that you could lose the money you've invested anytime you are striving for a return. Each asset's risk need to be evaluated because the risk you're taking directly correlates to the second cost of investing, which we'll discuss now. The risk levels for various assets will vary, ranging from the high risk with penny stocks to the lowest bet you assume when buying government bonds. The emotional cost of investing is the second expense you're going to make. You may attest to the emotional roller coaster that is a single stock invested in the best cases if you've ever invested in stocks that have close to a brutal attack while monitoring the markets on a bad day. Uncertainty will result from this inner upheaval, but it can also make you panic or act out of greed, which is never in your best interest. Finally, we have opportunity costs, your favorite new financial word. Whenever you invest in one asset, presuming you don't have an unlimited supply of cash, you forfeit the chance to invest in another. For instance, if you buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you lose the opportunity to buy the $10,000 price of Ethereum or an index fund. Depending on how things work out, choosing one asset to invest in over the other may now be a better or worse choice in the future. However, as long as you invest your money, you will continue to pay this fee. You now know whether you are making a wise or a foolish investment. You can evaluate your investing selection by watching this video, or if you still intend to invest, it will assist you in some way. I appreciate your patience and hope I made some sense to you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next videos.